Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another transfer news video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash up the like, subscribe if you're new around here, and as always, leave your thoughts in the comments. And guys, we're going to be talking about Noni Madueke to Arsenal in this video, and there has been an update from ESPN, and they are reporting that conversations between Arsenal and Chelsea. Arsenal's talks with both Chelsea and Madueke are ongoing and very positive, and a deal for a fee of 50 million euros could be done by the end of the week. Mikel Arteta has always been a big fan and believes he could develop Madueke into a great left winger. We're going to get to that a little bit later on. 50 million euros. Arsenal want to pay 40. Chelsea want 50 at least for him. Good relationship between the two clubs. We've done a lot of business. Obviously, Kepa's gone there this summer. Suspect that the deal will be met somewhere in the middle. 50 million euros is just over 43 million pounds, and there could well be some add-ons in there, which probably takes it up to 50. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was 43 or 50 million plus 5 euros or whatever, 43 million plus 5 in add-ons or plus 7 in add-ons, getting to that 50 million pound figure. That's not a surprise. I think that will absolutely happen. But by the end of the week, I mean, Chelsea could be world champions by the end of the week. And look, Madueke is obviously still training with Chelsea right now to prepare for the Club World Cup semi-final against Fluminense. It'll be interesting to see what the situation is, whether he's involved. Obviously, he's a contracted Chelsea player, so I don't see a reason why he wouldn't be involved, why he wouldn't be in the squad. But it looks like this deal, according to ESPN sources, could be done by the end of the week for 50 million euros, which is 43 million pounds. Now, is that market value for Noni Madueke? When you look at Jamie Gittins going for 48.5 million pounds plus 3.5 in add-ons. We look at Joao Pedro, 55 plus 5. When you look at Anthony Elanga looking at going for 55 million pounds. Chelsea should be getting 55 million for Noni Madueke, in my opinion, based on the market right now and based on what players of a similar level and playing in a similar position go for. Would he be a big miss for Chelsea? I'm not too sure how much of a miss he would be. You know, he was our most productive winger last season in terms of output. Now, people can debate that all they want, whether that means that Madueke is good or whether our selection of wingers is pretty poor. I think both things can be true, that the wingers weren't particularly great, but Madueke was also the best of a bad bunch. But it's interesting to see that Arteta seems to think he can play on the left wing. Madueke had a couple of decent games on the left wing for Chelsea towards the end of last season, but I wouldn't say it's his best position by any accounts. And he's definitely more of a right winger, but it's in a World Cup year as well. It's interesting that Madueke seems to think he's going to get more game time at Arsenal and make more of an impact at Arsenal next season than he would at Chelsea in terms of his Club World Cup chances. And I think, look, this move's going to happen now. We know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, not if. And attention now turns to, do we actually need a replacement for Madueke? Do we need to go and sign another forward? Because you've got Joao Pedro who can cover multiple positions. You've got Pedro Neto and you've got Esteval Willian. Those three can all play on the right-hand side if needed. You can put Cole Palmer on the right-hand side if necessary. With Madueke leaving, I wouldn't be looking at bringing in another right winger. I'll be looking to bring in someone on that left-hand side, because right now, in terms of specialists on the left wing, all we have is a raw and inexperienced Jamie Gittins. So you need to go and get something else. Now, what Chelsea should be doing is going and testing the waters with Rodrigo. We know that's not going to happen. Another option could be go and try and get Rafael Leao out of AC Milan. However, I suspect the most likely option is going to be one of Malik Fofana or Alejandro Garnacho. Probably ends up being Malik Fofana, potentially. But again, it depends who we go for. It depends what teams go in for Fofana. If Liverpool decide that they want to, accelerate their interest in him, then I think we could absolutely have a problem there. But I'm not necessarily sure that we need a direct replacement for Madueke. You've got Giovanni Quenda coming in next summer as well. So I'm looking at all these things in the attacking positions and I'm thinking, right, okay, Quenda does play on the right, but he could be used for a left wing option. Can we get by this summer without replacing Noni Madueke? Do we need another option to come in when, in my opinion, Madueke joins Arsenal? I'm starting to think maybe we don't. Maybe we don't, and we can use that money or put that money towards actually getting something we need, which is an alternative at left back and which is a better goalkeeper. Those two things for me are far more important than bringing in another player in attack to replace Madueke. I'm just questioning whether another attacker needs to come in. We would all love Mohamed Kudus, of course we will, but with Quenda coming in next summer, you sort of look at the Kudus signing and you think, why do we need Kudus? Yes, you can always improve, and yes, you want the best players to come to your football club, but from a squad building perspective and what it means for the likes of Paez, what it could mean for a Giovanni Quenda potentially, you look at that and you sort of think, well, how is that making any sense from a squad building perspective and in terms of balance in the squad as well and all that sort of stuff? It doesn't really lend itself to make much sense in terms of, building a squad in the right way, getting the right balance, getting the right profiles in and whatnot. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting one. All the stuff in Ekitike has gone very quiet. Tottenham right now seem to be in the driving seat for Mohamed Kudus. And then links with Malik Fofana have gone very quiet. You still got Alejandro Garnacho floating around. Rumours there, but I just don't see Chelsea going for him. But I also don't see us going for another striker. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of anyone's guess right now what could happen with that. But if Madueke does go to Arsenal, which is looking likely, it is what it is. I don't think you can call him a snake because Chelsea are looking to sell him. He's not forced a transfer. He's not, done any of that stuff. So it's very different to other players. And yeah, I would wish him the best and we crack on and we move forward. This is very different to things that have happened in the past where there's public disagreements with contracts, players are pushing for a move. Madueke's, all right, yeah, there's been a few issues in training in terms of meeting the required standards that the gaffer expects. But other than that, he's been very professional. He has delivered on the pitch for us on occasions and come up big in some big moments for us. And whilst I wouldn't wish him the best at Arsenal, I want him to do really well. It is what it is. No ill feelings towards him at all. And we move forward and we try and bring someone better in. But yeah, let's see, guys. Let's see. Chat. Let me know your thoughts. Is it a fair price if it ends up being around this 43-45 million pound mark, potentially with some add-ons in there? Is that a fair price? And do you think we need a replacement for Madueke? Or we should just leave it with the options that we've got in attack right now? Let me know your thoughts. But yeah, guys, smash up the like, subscribe if you're new around here. I'll catch you lot again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea, and I'm out. Peace.